The return of a lost tribe is unfolding. The ancient prophecy concerning Manasseh appears to be materializing. Envision this scenario: a secluded community nestled in the mountains of India asserts that they are descendants of one of Israel's 10 lost tribes. They recite Hebrew prayers, honor the Sabbath, and yearn to return to their ancestral land. The astonishing twist: the Israeli government concurs. Could biblical prophecy be manifesting right before us? Might this community truly be the tribe of Manasseh, returning after 2,700 years? Could this suggest that the fulfillment of prophecy is advancing more rapidly than anyone had foreseen? In the northeastern mountainous regions of India, within Manipur and Mizoram, resides a modest yet resolute group. They refer to themselves as the Bnei Menashe, meaning sons of Manasseh in Hebrew. They are not recent religious converts. They sing ancient songs about the crossing of the Red Sea and recount tales of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, narratives passed down from generation to generation. The remarkable part: these teachings weren't acquired from books or introduced by missionaries. They were handed down through family lineage. But from whom were they inherited, and by what means did these traditions endure for nearly 2,700 years? Let us journey back through time to uncover a mystery that has stretched across thousands of years. Following King Solomon's rule, Israel divided into two separate kingdoms. The northern kingdom, which included the tribe of Manasseh, grew defiant toward God. Then in 722 BC, the formidable Assyrian Empire descended like a fierce blaze. What followed altered the course of history. The Assyrians did more than conquer, they dispersed. 10 entire tribes were exiled and scattered throughout the ancient world. Many believed they were lost forever, assimilated into foreign cultures, and erased from history. But what if they weren't lost? What if they had simply moved on? Consider the astonishing voyage from Samaria through Persia, across Tibet and Burma, ultimately reaching India. According to their oral history, the Bnei Menashe recount tales of the Shinlong Cave, a critical waypoint during their historic migration. For generations, they clung to the memory of their genuine homeland. Though they endured exile, they never forgot their identity or mission. And now that mission is poised to be unveiled. Why Manasseh, though? Among all the tribes, what makes this one stand out? Manasseh was the firstborn son of Joseph, born during the famine in Egypt. As Jacob approached death, he made an extraordinary decision. He adopted Joseph's sons as his own, granting them an inheritance equal to his other sons. According to Genesis, Manasseh was given a double-portion territory on both sides of the Jordan River. The book of Joshua details their distinct inheritance, which stretched from the Mediterranean Sea to the wilderness on the east. But here's where the prophetic significance becomes astonishing. Why is the tribe of Manasseh distinctly named among the 144,000 sealed in the book of Revelation? This question opens a profound mystery whose answer may surprise you. The saga of Israel's exile resembles a sorrowful epic replayed through time. The initial scattering occurred in 722 BC during the Assyrian conquest, dispersing 10 tribes like seeds on the wind. This was followed by the Babylonian captivity in 586 BC, though that group eventually returned. But what happened next was altogether different and felt irrevocable. Jesus foretold the temple's ruin with chilling precision in Luke 21:6. As for these things which you are looking at, the days will come when there will not be left one stone upon another, which will not be torn down. In 70 AD, Roman forces devastated Jerusalem. The temple was set ablaze and the Jewish people were dispersed across the globe. For almost 1,900 years, they were without a homeland, enduring relentless persecution and pogroms. Yet defying all historical expectations and overwhelming odds, they returned in 1948. But that return marked not the end of the narrative, but rather its new beginning. During the 1950s in northeastern India, a tribal elder experienced a powerful dream in which he saw his people's ancient homeland, a land flowing with milk and honey once inhabited by his ancestors. What unfolded next defied logic. Christian missionaries arrived introducing Bibles in local dialects. However, instead of converting the community to an unfamiliar faith, something remarkable took place. The tribe did not adopt the Bible as something new, they recognized it. The scriptures were not foreign, they were familiar. These were not new tales, but the very stories they had always known. The festivals they had observed for centuries aligned seamlessly with the instructions found in Levitical law. Their traditional songs included Hebrew terms. Their cultural practices bore resemblance to ancient temple rituals. They were not discovering Israel for the first time, they were recollecting it from deep memory. Yet mere recognition was only the beginning. What followed would alter everything. In 2005, a landmark decision reverberated through the Jewish community. Israel's chief rabbi officially affirmed the Bnei Menashe as legitimate descendants of the lost tribe of Manasseh. After 2,700 years in exile, they were finally recognized as returning home. However, administrative processes lagged behind, and time was growing short. In May 2023, devastating ethnic unrest exploded across northeastern India, igniting like a volatile powder keg. What transpired next was a horror for every believer. Synagogues were set ablaze and reduced to ashes. Sacred Torah scrolls were obliterated. Families were devastated and separated. Once more, the Bnei Menashe found themselves displaced, this time not by a mighty empire, but by civil turmoil. Thousands were forced to abandon their homes, and hundreds journeyed to Israel seeking refuge, not as visitors or migrants, but as long-lost exiles returning. The remarkable element: Israel welcomed them, not out of charity, but in alignment with divine covenant and prophecy. As Isaiah 43:5-6 declares, "Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bring your offspring from the east and gather you from the west. I will say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not hold them back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth." For nearly 2,700 years, the tribe of Manasseh roamed through history. They endured empires, exiles, migrations, and the erosion of memory. Yet through it all, they preserved their faith, upheld their customs, and remembered their identity. Today, they are finally returning home, and they are not the only ones. Throughout Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, similar testimonies are emerging, communities asserting descent from ancient Israel. Some of these claims are being authenticated. Others await recognition. But the momentum is undeniable. Prophecy is unfolding before our eyes. Might the return of the tribe of Manasseh be the catalyst? Could this event be the very trigger that sets the prophetic timeline into motion? Ezekiel envisioned a valley of dry bones rising to life. Isaiah predicted nations carrying sons and daughters back to Israel. Jeremiah foretold a second, even greater exodus. These were not mere poetic aspirations. They were pronouncements of divine destiny. And now that destiny is summoning its fulfillment. The Bnei Menashe represent more than just a historical narrative. They are a prophetic signal, a sign that time is drawing near, that the unfolding of prophecy is gaining speed, and that God's plan for Israel remains active. Far from being concluded, it is intensifying. As Isaiah 11:12 proclaims, "He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four quarters of the earth." The tribe of Manasseh is returning to their homeland. With their arrival, Israel's story moves into its concluding chapter, a chapter not shaped by emperors or warriors, but by humble shepherds, worshipers, and visionaries. It is a chapter foretold by the prophets and guaranteed by God's promise. And this is the era you now inhabit. Precious Torah scrolls, some painstakingly transcribed by hand across generations, were destroyed in fire. Community leaders fled to save themselves. Fatalities occurred. Ancient Jewish communities that had endured 2,700 years in exile suddenly faced annihilation. But what many people overlook is that this isn't confined to one region. What's unfolding in India is just one piece of a much larger and astonishing picture. Consider Beta Israel. Ethiopian Jews were flown back to Israel in gripping rescue missions. In Spain and Latin America, crypto Jews are uncovering their secret lineage after 500 years. Nigerian communities are confirming genetic ties to ancient Israelites. In China, lost tribes have preserved Jewish customs for thousands of years. Meanwhile, Jewish groups in Afghanistan have been extracted in daring operations. Examine the map. A clear pattern unfolds from Ethiopia's highlands to India's lowlands, from Nigerian plains to Central Asian steppes. They're all returning. This is not mere coincidence or arbitrary migration. Their return is not accidental, it was prophesied. And the biblical prophecies are more detailed than you might expect. Ezekiel 36:24 says, "For I will take you from among the nations, gather you out of all countries, and bring you into your own land." But people often overlook a crucial aspect of this prophecy. It's not merely about geographic relocation or political boundaries. The verse continues, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will remove your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. The prophecy speaks of both a physical return and a spiritual transformation. Paul grasped this mystery and described it in Romans 11:25-27. I do not want you to be ignorant of this mystery, brothers, lest you become arrogant. A partial hardening has come upon Israel until the full number of Gentiles has come in. And in this way, all Israel will be saved. Here's where it becomes astonishing. Revelation 7 lists the sealed tribes, and Manasseh is included. But strikingly, the tribe of Dan is absent. Why was Dan excluded, and what significance does Manasseh's presence hold for our comprehension of end-time events? These questions may upend your current understanding. It's time to debunk a widespread myth that has misled millions. The 144,000 Washin are not symbolic of the church, nor do they represent all believers across history. Revelation references this group 3 times. Revelation 7:4 states, and I heard the number of those who were sealed 144,000 towers and 12,000 from each tribe of the sons of Israel. Why are these individuals sealed, and when does it happen? They are sealed for protection from coming judgment. In Revelation, the 144,000 are introduced after 6 seals are broken, each bringing devastation to the earth. These seals symbolize false prophets, war, famine, and disease, represented by 4 horses, followed by religious persecution that results in the deaths of devoted Christians, along with cosmic signs. In his prophetic teaching, Jesus called this a time of immense suffering unmatched in all of history. Matthew 24:21-22 says, for then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world, until now, nor ever shall be. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. The 144,000 are sealed after the great tribulation, but before God's judgments fall on the earth. The next chapter describes 4 angels poised to inflict devastation being ordered to delay until this chosen group is marked. Revelation 7:1-3, Amplified, describes 4 angels standing at earth's 4 corners, restraining the winds to prevent any movement on land or sea. Then a 5th angel rises from the east carrying the seal of the living God. He commands the 4 angels not to damage the earth or sea until God's servants are marked on their foreheads. In the New Testament, sealed comes from a Greek word meaning to mark privately. This indicated ownership, protection, or secrecy. Seals were often used officially. For instance, a Roman officer might seal a document reserved for a superior. If broken, it was clear someone else had accessed or tampered with the contents. God's seal functions as an identifying sign, marking and protecting his true followers. In Revelation, this seal appears amid severe end-time events. It's not a literal mark, but a spiritual emblem signifying divine ownership and protection over those truly aligned with God. The concept of sealing originates from old traditions but is reinterpreted spiritually in Revelation. God's servants are marked on the forehead bearing his name. Revelation 14:1 says, then I looked, and behold, the Lamb was standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 having his name and his Father's name written on their foreheads, symbolizing divine ownership. These are the servants of God. Although Scripture doesn't specify their exact role, the 144,000 are set apart with a distinctive and divine assignment. Still, the idea of being sealed isn't exclusive to them. While some angels are charged with limiting the power of Satan and his forces, another angel is appointed to mark and distinguish those truly loyal to God. Revelation 7:4-8 lists the sealed individuals, 144,000, total $12,000, from each of the tribes of Israel. These include Judah, Reuben, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Simeon, Levi, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Each tribe contributes 12,000 marked ones. These individuals are sealed, set apart, redeemed, and shielded by divine authority. Their identity is specific. They come from all the tribes of the children of Israel. They are ethnically Jewish, and their number is exactly 144,000, chosen for a special purpose. The passage outlines a distinct group, 144,000 people evenly distributed among the 12 tribes of Israel, with 12,000 from each. Though their tribal heritage is known to God alone, it's notable that Dan is missing from the enumeration. Some theorize Dan's exclusion stems from connections to the Antichrist, citing Daniel 11:37 and Jeremiah 8:16. Daniel 11:37 mentions a figure who disrespects ancestral gods, rejects desire for women, and exalts himself above all deities. While this link is debatable historically, the tribe of Dan was the first to bring idolatry into Israel. Numerous groups have asserted they represent the 144,000. Yet Revelation chapters 7 and 14 provide concrete clues about who these individuals truly are. First, they are clearly called the children of Israel, direct descendants of the patriarch Jacob, also known as Israel. This is confirmed in Revelation 7:4. Second, their lineage is explicitly tribal. Revelation 7:4-8 lists each tribe and the number sealed from it. Third, amid God's wrath, they are divinely protected and destined to stand victorious with Christ at Mount Zion. This is depicted in Revelation 14:1. Fourth, they are celibate. Revelation 14:4 states they have not defiled themselves with women remaining pure. They follow the Lamb faithfully and are redeemed from among mankind as the first fruits dedicated to God and Christ for a unique mission. Fifth, they represent the initial yield of a larger spiritual harvest yet to come. Sixth, they are characterized by truthfulness and unwavering faith. Revelation 14:5 emphasizes their blamelessness. Collectively, these points challenge the view that the 144,000 are symbolic of the church. The sealing described in Revelation is a literal act, a divine stamp of protection and belonging. It represents spiritual safeguarding during end-time turmoil. Each tribe contributes 12,000, reflecting the fullness of God's chosen people. The total 144,000 is symbolically significant. Biblically, the number 12 often denotes divine governance and perfection in structure. While some interpret the 144,000 symbolically, Scripture explicitly names the tribes. They're not merely representative of Israel, they are Israel. Each tribe is listed and sealed. Even Manasseh, long believed lost, is included. These individuals will act as witnesses during the tribulation. Could the Bnei Menashe, a group tracing lineage to Manasseh, be among them in this prophetic role? The sealing of the 144,000 highlights God's supreme authority and his power to preserve his elect amid global chaos. This truth reassures believers of divine protection and underscores the value of loyalty to God. Let me leave you with a profound truth meant to stir your soul. Not a single tribe has been forgotten. Reflect on the significance of this. Over 2,700 years through the rise and fall of empires, waves of persecution and pogroms across shifting cultures and generations, God has sustained the tribal identities in secluded Indian mountains, the Ethiopian highlands, and obscure enclaves scattered worldwide. This is the very same God who vowed to Abraham that his offspring would be as countless as the stars. The same God who assured David of an everlasting throne. The same God who through Jeremiah declared a new covenant. From Abraham to the book of Revelation, a continuous thread of divine faithfulness remains unbroken. Now consider this soul-searching question. If God has remained this loyal to Israel, how much more faithful is he to you? If he remembers dispersed tribes after 2,700 years, would he forget your prayers? If he fulfills ancient prophecy with precision, can you not fully trust the promises he has made to you? The answer lies in the restoration of every lost tribe. It is the fulfillment of ancient prophecies in our modern era, an enduring testament to God's unwavering fidelity. We followed the journey from Samaria to Shinlung, from centuries of exile to newfound recognition, from scattered dreams to long-awaited return. Yet the narrative remains unfinished. One last prophetic piece is still missing. In the next episode, could Dan be the absent tribe? I want to hear your perspective. What do you believe Manasseh's return signifies in the scope of prophecy? Are we witnessing the unfolding of end times events? Share your insights in the comments. One thing is beyond doubt, we are living through the most prophetically charged era in human history, and the most remarkable events are still ahead. Isaiah 11:12 declares, "He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four corners of the earth." The tribes are returning, prophecies are being fulfilled. The real question is, are you paying attention?